Hey guys, welcome. We're just doing a real quick review. I've got some in production to get a bit more of a polished finish on this type of thing, but because we've got a couple of sales going on, 10% off. Just wanted to do a quick review on some of the binders we have in stock. Now I have a preference. It's the third binder. It's going to come up a little bit later. But one of the two key ones that I wanted to go over was the Ultimate Guard Xenoskin zip folder and the BCW Z Folio LX, also a zip folder. Between them, they're the same size. There's about $10 price difference. I'm pretty sure these guys are 45 each and these guys are 55 each. They come in a completely different color scheme. So if you want to get a blue of this and a blue of this is sort of a petrol blue, and then there's a deep blue, similar to sort of more my shirt color. And these come in those more like vivid flat colors. For comparison point there in the color schemes. Now the interiors are more or less identical. They're both quad rows, so they hold 480 cards. The finish, really the finish on the exterior of this is just that little bit better, in my opinion. I just feel like the stitching's that little bit better, and Ultimate Guard, one of those more premium, considered more a premium brand. But the BCW ones are perfectly fine, and if price points and colors are more important to you, then these are the ones that I would recommend. So they both have black sheets on the inside. I'm not going to go through the difference between the two because they're more or less the same. And as a comparison point, you can see that it's the plastic stitched over the fabric. Now, a lot of people get a little bit hesitant about how the finish of these are. The sheets in here aren't really any different to these Ultra Pro premium binders. So as you can see, stitching's in there the same. It's all side loading. There's no difference. So if you've ever seen, touched, or held one of these binders, just think about it having a nice hard cover zip frame over the same thing, and then obviously the extra rows. So as a comparison point for the interior, this is what you want to think about. Now, 480 cards in each, that's the cap, and that's because you can get 12 each side. So 24, and there's 20 pages in here. Now the covers are cardboard covers as well, which helps make them a little bit more rigid. They're not going to flex around if you're wiggling them around. So if we look at this for an example, right, I won't do it too hard because it's got cards in it, but you can see how it's flexing heaps, which also means that it's a little bit more susceptible to having things sit on it or be pushed on it, or if you've got it sitting up in on a shelf, it's a little bit less likely to stay firm upright, especially if it's like one of the only things on a shelf. So that's one of the advantages there. Now with these, these are zip folders, so they don't need the elastic to stay shut because they'll obviously zip, and then you're not going to get the issue where you get those pressing in over the cards. I never recommend using these elastics. They're not a problem, but I would always, except for the damage to the cards, but I would always put a piece of cardboard in if I was going to use the elastic. So yeah, that's more or less these. So this is a $55 binder. This is a $45 binder from memory. We've got a few in stock, but we can also get more in, and I'm happy to hold to that 10% off for orders in. Now, just the front and back, it's no real difference. You can hear and feel the textured finish on this guy. And you've got this guy's a smoother sort of finish. This one's a little bit more susceptible to getting marks and indents. Now I'm going to quickly grab... one of the other things is actually about these is when you get other accessories that sort of along the same lines, if you ever want them, is... I'm just kicking everything around while I'm moving. So Ultimate Guard, for example, you can get these deck boxes. Well, this is like a deck locker, but you can get these guys, and they have like a playmat, a drawer. You've got the playmat space, and these can actually fit in the Sidewinder deck boxes. Now, one of the advantages to going, say, straight Ultimate Guard is all of these products have the same finish to them. And that's one example. And there's another example. If I have a second to quickly find it. I put it down. I was walking around with it. Yeah. Alright. And it's the same thing when you consider like getting BCW branded products. So you can see here, this is just a standard deck box. They have deck lockers and other things as well, both brands do. But the finish is the same. So if you're a particular person or you're a pedantic person, similar to me, when you pick a brand, I would stick with it, and you just think about the finish quality and color schemes and things like that. We have heaps of BCW in stock. Ultimate Guard is available, but we prefer messages because it's much easier for me to get like the color schemes and what I can and cannot get. They're a little bit harder to get, but when I do get it, I can get it in overnight. Whereas the stuff, the supplier for BCW can take 2 or 3 days to come in. So that's just a short review over these two folders. Now they're both great. They're both equally as good as each other. Just the price difference, and I guess a bit of more about your personal preference. Now this is the one that I really wanted to talk through. This is a BCW finish. It's a Z Binder LX. Now, when it says binder, not folio, it is actually a ring binder. So it's actually got the 3-ring binder, and as you can see, you can buy the sheets that go in it. So what I've got in here right now is 20 pages, 2 packets of blue sheets. There is a raft of colors. I don't have them all right next to me, but there's pink, white, grey, black, yellow, red, green, blue, purple, whatever you want, And what I've done for my collection, and I've only got the Gyarados one here, the other ones are upstairs, but what you can see is I've gone with a blue sheet with my Gyarados. I've got a Jigglypuff collection, so the Jigglypuff will go into pink. I've got a Tauros collection that'll go into white. I've got the Gengar collection that's going to go into purple. So as you can see, like I've sort of gone a little bit more on the custom range of things. I'm also going to rebinder my base set in the blue sheets because of the box. My Jungle's going to go in green. Fossil, I'm going to do that in red because that's probably the closest color to the box, and then Team Rocket's going in black. So they're going to be redone. Evolutions probably going to go in maybe blue or even yellow, just to be completely different. But as you can see, 20 pages of these. So a 10. We'll quickly talk through everything actually. So the binder is the same finish. It's the same rigid cover. Away we go. Now these binders can fit around about the 25 pages comfortably with double loaded cards. I've seen people do 30. I don't recommend it. I mean, there's 20 in there now, and you can see how close that's getting already in the zip. You can probably get 30 in. I'm only going to stick to 20, but then again, I'll have a few folders, and that's okay for me. But you can get 20 pages in. Now, these pages are, it's $11 for a 10-pack, the discount on top at the moment. And they're the exact same finish as the previous binders, and the same as the Ultra Pro premium binders. And you can just customize it really. So if you bought, say, one of the things that I was thinking about doing when I'm at like physical events was to have my black binder and then go yellow, black, same with the business branding, or even yellow, black, white, just to be different. I haven't decided if I'm going to do that, but the possibilities are endless. So when you think about, if you're a Pikachu collector, or if you really like this Pikachu D-ring binder, which you can get a lot more pages into this binder, but if you really like this binder and you wanted to go like full-on color theme, you could have this with black and yellow packs of sleeves, and put your collections in that way as well. So this just the reason I like this the most is because it gives you the ability to customize how you like. So we'll quickly talk through the price points on this one. The folder itself is $25. There's a discount at the moment, so that still counts. So it's $25, and then to get your first pack of sheets, it's $11. So you'd be looking at, say, $47 less the discount to get 360 cards into this binder. And then you could always get the extra 30, and if you wanted to sort of push the limit of the binder, adding more in, you could do that. It's up to you. And you'd be looking at 58, and that would get you whatever 360 plus 180 is. So that's just my quick summary on the folders. A lot of people, when they get these sheets, they resort to these D-ring binders, and they're fine. But one of the big key things, I guess, about these types of folders is that they hold them really well, but if you wanted to sit them on a shelf, the sleeves will sag down and then the rings start to wear away, and you just move around a lot. And the other huge thing is moisture. Now, we live in a pretty humid country. My area gets quite humid through peaks of the year. So what I'm going to do and what we're going to include in all of the binders is a couple of packets of these silica gels. So these, you find them when you buy like shoes or, you know, heaps of different things actually, even sometimes food packets. They just help to minimize the moisture and absorb a bit of moisture that's within the environment. So, you know, where I'm going to be putting mine in this folder is in here. So that way when you shut it and you zip it up, there's just a little, I guess just, you know, it's nothing overly special or overly expensive, but it's just another little thing that we're adding into our all of our zip folders, whether you buy the Ultimate Guard or any of them, anything with a zip folder. That's what we're going to add into each of those packs. So I'm going to put a picture up with this video of the different colors that come for these sheets within this binder, but this is strongly my recommendation. It's that tiny bit more expensive when you consider, you know, getting a 480 card folder, but you get that customizing factor, and with the discount it kind of makes it, you know, pretty reasonable. Yeah, that's about it. I don't think there's anything else that I need to add. We also have all like the different types of sleeves. So we've got perfect loader, perfect fit, top loading, side loading, and we've got a new black backing one as well, which is a little bit more expensive, but we've got those on the website, and they work really well with this. So the way I've sleeved the Gyarados scene is I've side loaded, I've gone with a side top loader in. So I've double sleeved all of these. So I've gone with a side loading perfect fit into a premium like so, and then I've got it into this sheet. That's because once, you know, the idea of this folder is that once they're in here, they're not coming out. So that's why I'm happy to do the double sleeving. If anyone has any questions, or if they want any more info on this type of like review, or if you want to see some reviews of other products, just send us a note. We're happy to do it. Either myself or Olivia will jump on and help. But this is just to help a lot of those questions that are coming through. It'll be a bit more, I guess, a bit more useful. Something that's hard to buy on the internet is a folder, and trying to understand, you know, the differences and reading the text, and you know, understanding, well, what's going to have good quality and last long, and, you know, what should and shouldn't I buy. This is my recommendation, but these two guys here are equally as good. It's just that you're locked in at 480 cards. You know, another advantage, I suppose, is with this binder here, if you wanted to get a certain number of collections in and not have spare slots or spare sleeves, you know, say you wanted to have your base set, jungle, fossil, etc., and you wanted them to fit into this folder here without spare sleeves or falling short, you can do so. With these guys, you know, you've got that extra range of 480 cards, but it's quite hard to make sure that you've got you're going to maximize the use of the binder. So that's it from me. I'm not going to hold anyone up anymore, but if anyone wants any more info, if they've got any other questions, feel free to shoot them through. Anyway, that's it from me. Happy collecting.